Hello, YouTube land. This is Jake with the General Gringo channel, and I would like to formally say hello. And this, I guess you could say, this is my first real YouTube video being on the platform in as many years as I've been here, which has been well over 15. Um, I have been a lifelong horror fan since the age of 13. And I myself just kind of want to give you a little something as far as beginners horror films go. And I think there's no better place to start than Night of the Living Dead. I have here the reanimated version, which is over 100 different artists animating over the original Night of the Living Dead, and it's quite good. However, George A. Romero, may he rest in peace, really brought the zombie film into what it is today with his original trilogy of Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. And I think that there's no better place to start for a beginner in the horror film genre being a fan than Night of the Living Dead. However, you can always mix and match into your own personal likes. For example, the Universal series of monster films from the 30s, well, really starting in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, all the way to the 50s with the Creature from the Black Lagoon films. Those are a great place to start as well. However, if you like things maybe, I guess, a little more contemporary, films which necessarily not exactly horror, Hobo with a Shotgun, and films such as that type of the grindhouse milieu are definitely a wonderful place to start as well. I myself would recommend whatever you like would be the best for you as far as horror films go. If you like things um, a little less gory or bloody, you always have stuff like Eight Legged Freaks, which is absolutely perfect for the newer horror film fan. Eight Legged Freaks, of course, the animal horror genre, is a great place typically to start for fans because it's a little lower stakes as far as horror films go. There's not as much blood and gore as, say, Blood Feast, which I have here on Arrow Video Blu-ray. It's not exactly as I mean, in the terms of animal horror films, not as gory or violent or that sort of thing, usually as some of the more obscure or uh, more sought after horror films, such as your typical big franchises like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween. If you're looking for something a little less serious, you can always go with the Leprechaun films, which are fantastic films if you don't give a damn about plot or things making sense or that sort of nature. I myself have watched all of these and am quite familiar with them, and enjoy them quite a lot. So I think in terms of beginners horror films, there's lots and lots of things that you could really check out. Like, for example, the Blackula films, absolutely wonderful movies. Great exploitation. The main actor who plays Blackula is fantastic. Or if you want to go way back to the beginning of the kaiju genre, you could always go with the original King Kong, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, I myself love zombie films, so and slashers, and I have two great examples of both here, being The Town That Dreaded Sundown from the 70s, which is based on a real case and is an absolutely wonderful proto-slasher film, and quite possibly the inspiration for Tater Sack Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2. Great movie. Absolutely fantastic. Not as bloody and gory as, let's say, Stage Fright or even Santa's Sleigh, which is less bloody and gory and more goofy. However, Silent Night is definitely bloody and gory and less goofy. In terms of your beginner horror films and your zombie films, if you want things to be a little more modernized, you can always go with something like the Dawn of the Dead remake or the later films of George A. Romero, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead, which are great films. Maybe not as put together or thematically beautiful as his original films were. If you want to go a little bit around the same time of Dawn of the Dead with a very good ripoff, Lucio Fulci's Zombie is definitely one that I would recommend to you because it is umpteenth on the blood and the gore. It is very, very enjoyable. The plot isn't really there, but in these kind of movies, you need a bucket of popcorn, not a plot. So I think that in terms of beginning, where to begin with horror films, you can always start with the big franchises and work your way down, or you can always go for the lesser known things and work your way up. I myself really enjoy things like The Invisible Man or the Night of the Living Dead remake, which should be required viewing for anyone who is a true zombie fan. Now, I really thank you for allowing me to maybe dip your toe into the horror genre, and hopefully I can do more and more of these videos with better and better quality, being as I am just starting out and I'm not quite used to this. However, if you enjoy this video, please give it a like, or if you like my work so far, give me a subscribe. However, that is entirely up to you. But I will leave you off on one small opinion of mine. The horror genre is somewhere we can all come together and enjoy the roller coaster ride that is horror, and maybe forget some of our day-to-day struggles, our day-to-day worries, what with the pandemic and jobs and all of this. So I think maybe we can all come together and enjoy this genre and just be entertained and have a good time. I hope that I've been helpful to you, and that maybe if you were not a fan or not into horror before now, maybe now you can dip your toe in. Thank you very much.